Welcome to our journey through the maze of social interactions and personal values. Today, we're shedding light on behaviors that often go unchecked but can significantly impact how we perceive and respect others. It's not just about what we do, but also about what we shouldn't admire in others. Let's start with the first thing on our list: lack of empathy. Imagine walking through life with blinders on, seeing only your reflection in everything around you. That's a day in the life of someone who lacks empathy. They breeze past the feelings of others, their struggles and joys, merely background noise to their own narrative. But why is this trait such a red flag? It's simple. Empathy is the glue that binds us, the very foundation of meaningful connections. Without it, relationships are built on shaky ground, lacking the depth and understanding that forge lasting bonds. So, as we navigate through our daily interactions, let's be mindful of the power of empathy. It's not just about understanding others, but about creating a world where everyone feels seen and heard. Stay tuned as we uncover more behaviors that might be more common than we'd like to admit, yet stand in stark contrast to the values we hold dear. Lack of empathy. After setting the stage with our introduction on the importance of integrity and respect, we now delve into the first critical behavior that often undermines respect: a lack of empathy. It's a trait that's easily overlooked but fundamentally vital. Imagine walking through life with blinders on, seeing only your reflection in every person you meet, every situation you encounter. This is the world for those who lack empathy. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Without it, connections remain superficial, interactions become transactional, and the human experience loses its richness. A friend shares a problem, seeking solace and understanding, but is met with indifference or, worse, dismissal. The message sent is clear: your feelings, your experiences do not matter. This not only erodes respect, but also diminishes the very essence of human connection. Why is this lack of empathy so critical to our discussion on respect? Because empathy reflects our ability to step outside ourselves, to see beyond our immediate desires and consider the impact of our actions on others. It's about listening, truly listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak. It's about acknowledging others' feelings as valid, even if they differ from your own. In a world brimming with diversity, empathy is the bridge that connects us. It allows us to appreciate the myriad of perspectives that make up the human tapestry. Without it, the tapestry unravels, leaving us with a monochrome view of life, devoid of its true colors and textures. As we move forward, let's ask ourselves, how often do we practice empathy? In our daily interactions, are we truly present, or are we merely actors in our own play, oblivious to the world around us? The absence of empathy is not just a personal failing, it's a societal one. And in recognizing this, we take the first step towards fostering a culture of respect and understanding. Disregarding boundaries. In this next part of our exploration, we turn our attention to the critical issue of personal boundaries, a cornerstone of mutual respect and understanding in any relationship. The disregard for personal limits stands out as a glaring mark of disrespect, one that can fracture the very foundation of trust and rapport between individuals. When someone overshadows your space, constantly pushes your comfort zone, or dismisses your expressed wishes, it's not just uncomfortable, it's a clear sign of disrespect. This behavior can manifest in various ways, from persistently overriding your opinions in group discussions to making decisions that affect you without your input. It's like being in a musical ensemble where one instrument is so overpoweringly loud. In relationships, as in music, balance and respect for each participant's space are key to creating a beautiful symphony. Now, let's consider the workplace, a common setting where boundary issues often arise. When a colleague or supervisor makes demands on your time outside of agreed working hours without acknowledging your personal time, it's a sign of disrespect for your boundary. It's akin to someone borrowing your prized possession without permission and returning it damaged. The act not only disregards your ownership, but also diminishes the value you place on your time and personal commitments. In the realm of social interactions, boundary disrespect can surface in subtle yet impactful ways. Picture being at a gathering where your dietary preferences are ignored or your conversation is constantly interrupted. These actions signal a disregard for your personal choices and voice, akin to painting over a masterpiece and claiming it as one's own. The original beauty and intention are lost in the process. As we navigate through these examples, it becomes evident that respecting boundaries is not just about avoiding overt transgressions. It's about recognizing and honoring the invisible lines that define each person's sense of self and comfort. Crossing these lines without permission is a breach of personal territory, a clear indication that one's preferences, time, and autonomy are not being valued. In conclusion, as we move forward in our journey, let us be mindful of the boundaries that encircle the gardens of our individuality. To trespass is to trample the flowers of respect and trust that grow within. Let's commit to being vigilant gardeners, nurturing an environment where every individual's boundaries are acknowledged and preserved, fostering a landscape of mutual respect and understanding. Manipulative behavior. Moving forward in our discourse, we encounter a particularly insidious form of disrespect: manipulation. This cunning behavior can erode the bedrock of any relationship, leaving confusion and mistrust in its wake. Manipulation, in its essence, is the art of bending someone's will to your own without their awareness or consent. It's like being a puppeteer, where the strings are pulled so subtly that the puppet doesn't realize it's not moving of its own accord. Consider the dynamics in a friendship or partnership where one party always seems to have the upper hand, shaping decisions and outcomes to their benefit under the guise of mutual interest. It's akin to a chess game where one player is unaware that the rules have been altered to favor their opponent. The realization that one's choices and feelings are being steered by another can be both shocking and disheartening. In professional settings, manipulation might manifest as a colleague taking credit for your ideas or a superior using emotional leverage to extract more work than is fair or agreed upon. It's as if you're running a race, but unbeknownst to you, your competitors have been given a head start. The playing field is uneven, yet the illusion of fairness remains, making it difficult to call out the injustice. Manipulative behavior thrives on ambiguity and often goes unnoticed until patterns emerge over time. It's a slow poison, one that seeps into the fabric of interactions, gradually undermining trust and respect. The realization that one's feelings, needs, and perceptions have been manipulated for another's gain is a stark awakening to the absence of genuine respect. Unreliability. As we progress, we delve into the realm of unreliability, a trait that significantly undermines the fabric of respect and trust in relationships. Dependability is the cornerstone upon which the edifice of mutual respect is. When someone consistently fails to honor commitments or follow through on promises, it chips away at the foundation of trust, leaving a shaky structure of uncertainty and disappointment in its place. Imagine relying on a friend for support during a challenging time, only to be met with excuses and no-shows. It's akin to reaching for a lifeline that dissolves in your grasp, leaving you to fend for yourself in turbulent waters. The breach of trust is palpable, and the sense of abandonment can deepen the chasm of disrespect. In professional contexts, unreliability can manifest as missed deadlines, unfulfilled responsibilities, or a general lack of accountability. It's like a team member who consistently passes the baton too late, jeopardizing the relay race. The impact extends beyond individual relationships, eroding team morale and undermining collaboration. The essence of respect is recognizing and valuing the impact of our actions on others. When unreliability becomes a pattern, it sends a clear message that the needs, time, and expectations of others are of little consequence. It's a silent declaration that one's personal priorities outweigh the collective or mutual interests. In conclusion, as we reflect on manipulation and unreliability, we're reminded of the delicate interplay of actions and perceptions in nurturing respect. To foster environments where respect flourishes, we must strive for transparency, accountability, and integrity in our interactions, ensuring that the foundations of our relationships are as steadfast as they are sincere. Disrespectful communication. Communication is the bridge that connects people, allowing ideas, feelings, and intentions to flow freely between them. However, when this bridge is built on the shaky grounds of disrespect, the connection it provides becomes fraught with misunderstandings and disrespectful communication whether it's through harsh words, dismissive tones, or negative body language, acts like a corrosive acid, slowly eroding the trust and respect that form the foundation of any healthy relationship. Imagine a conversation where one person's words are laced with sarcasm or belittlement, targeting the other's ideas or feelings. This isn't just a simple exchange of words. It's a battleground where respect is the first casualty. Such interactions leave scars, often deeper and more lasting than physical ones, because they attack the essence of who we are. It's akin to a sculptor chipping away at a masterpiece, not to reveal a beautiful form, but to mar its surface and diminish its value. In the digital age, disrespectful communication has found new arenas, from online forums to social media platforms. Here, anonymity and physical distance embolden some to express their worst impulses, forgetting the human being on the. It's a reminder that words, whether spoken or typed, carry weight and can leave a lasting impact on the receiver's heart and mind. To foster an environment of respect, it's essential to practice active listening, empathy, and constructive feedback. It's about recognizing the person behind the words and honoring their perspective, even in disagreement. After all, the true art of communication lies not in winning arguments, but in bridging differences and nurturing understanding. Egoism. At the heart of many conflicts and misunderstandings lies a single, pervasive trait: egoism. When individuals place their needs, desires, and perspectives above all else, they create an insular world where the concept of mutual respect. Egoism is like a fortress with high walls built from the bricks of self-importance and the mortar of indifference to others' needs and feelings. From atop these walls, the world is seen not as a community of equals, but as a hierarchy to be dominated. In relationships, egoism manifests as a refusal to compromise or consider the other's viewpoint. It's a one-way street where the flow of giving and receiving is disrupted, leading only to a dead end. This approach not only stifles the growth of the relationship, but also sows seeds of resentment and disconnection. It's akin to a musician playing a solo, oblivious to the orchestra around him, disrupting the harmony with a discordant melody. In the workplace, ego-driven individuals may seek to advance their agendas at the expense of teamwork and collaboration, undermining the collective effort and, ultimately, the organization's success. It's like a team rowing a boat in a race where one rower decides to go at their own pace, causing the boat to spin in circles rather than moving forward. To move beyond egoism, it's crucial to cultivate humility, empathy, and a genuine interest in others. This doesn't mean diminishing one's value or contributions, but recognizing that true strength lies in collaboration and mutual respect. By lowering the walls of ego, we open ourselves to a world of richer connections, deeper understanding, and shared growth. Intolerance acts as a barrier to understanding and acceptance, casting a shadow over the diverse landscape of human beliefs, values, and practices. It is the unwillingness to recognize and respect differences, whether they are based on culture, religion, ideology, or lifestyle. Intolerance is like a blight on the field of human interaction, where instead of a rich harvest of ideas and collaboration, we find only the withered crops of discord and division. Picture a world where every conversation is a minefield, where stepping outside the narrow confines of one's beliefs risks condemnation and conflict. In such a world, the vibrant tapestry of human experience is dulled to monochrome, as the fear of difference stifles innovation and creativity. It's akin to an orchestra where every musician plays the same note, resulting in a monotonous drone devoid of the beauty and complexity that comes from a harmonious blend of different tones. The importance of open-mindedness cannot be overstated. It is the soil in which respect and understanding flourish. Being open-minded doesn't require us to abandon our values, but to acknowledge that the richness of human experience is found in its diversity, not in uniformity. It's about listening with the intent to understand, not to rebut, to learn, not to dismiss. This approach not only enriches our own lives, but also contributes to a more compassionate, tolerant world. Aggression, whether verbal or physical, is a destructive force that undermines the principles of respect and mutual understanding. It is an assertion of power and dominance that intimidates and alienates, creating an environment of fear and resentment. Aggressive behavior is like a storm raging through a community, tearing down the structures of trust and cooperation that bind people together. In personal relationships, aggression can turn dialogue into confrontation, transforming partners or friends into adversaries. The damage inflicted by aggressive words or actions can be deep and long-lasting, eroding the foundation of trust and affection that relationships need to thrive. It's like a sculptor chiseling too forcefully at a block of marble, where instead of revealing a form of beauty, they leave only fractures and rubble. In the broader societal context, aggression can escalate conflicts and hinder the resolution of disputes. It perpetuates a cycle of hostility and retribution, where each act of aggression begets further aggression. This cycle can only be broken by a conscious decision to choose respect, dialogue, and understanding over the impulse to dominate and intimidate. Inconsideration. Inconsideration, the act of neglecting others' time, feelings, and boundaries, is a subtle yet powerful force that can quietly erode the foundations of respect in any relationship. It's the equivalent of walking through someone's garden and carelessly trampling over the flowers, oblivious to the beauty and value they hold. This lack of consideration manifests in various ways, from consistently arriving late to appointments, showing a disregard for others' schedules, to speaking over someone in a conversation, dismissing their thoughts and opinions as if they were of no consequence. Consider a scenario where someone always takes more from a relationship than they give, whether it's in the form of emotional support, effort, or time. This imbalance creates a dynamic where one person feels undervalued and overlooked, much like an artist whose work is constantly overshadowed by another's. Over time, this can lead to a breakdown in communication and trust, as the disregarded party feels increasingly invisible and unimportant. To counteract inconsideration, it's vital to cultivate a habit of empathy, to put ourselves in the other person's shoes and truly understand the impact of our action. It's about recognizing that every individual's time and feelings are as valuable as our own and should be treated with the same level of care and respect. By doing so, we not only strengthen our relationships, but also build a foundation of mutual respect and understanding that enriches our interactions. Breach of privacy. Privacy, the sacred garden of our inner selves, demands respect and protection. A breach of this personal sanctuary is not just an invasion. It's a profound violation of trust and respect. This transgression can take many forms, from snooping through personal messages or emails to sharing someone's confidential information. Without such actions are akin to breaking into someone's home, rifling through their most personal possessions, and leaving the doors wide open for the world to see. The impact of invading someone's privacy extends far beyond the initial breach. It shatters the sense of safety and security that allows individuals to open up and be vulnerable in their relationships. It's like a crack in the foundation of a building. If left unchecked, it can cause the entire structure to crumble. The knowledge that one's private thoughts, feelings, or experiences have been exposed without consent can lead to a range of emotional responses, from embarrassment and anger to a deep sense of betrayal. Respecting privacy is about acknowledging and honoring the boundaries that each person sets around their personal space, information, and thoughts. It's an essential component of trust and respect, forming the bedrock upon which healthy relationships are built. To maintain this respect, it's crucial to practice discretion, seek consent before sharing personal information, and protect the confidentiality of those who entrust us with their private matters. In this exploration of behaviors that undermine respect, we've delved into the complexities of human interaction, from the subtleties of inconsideration to the stark violation of privacy breaches. Each behavior discussed, intolerance, aggression, manipulative tactics, unreliability, disrespectful communication, egoism, inconsideration, and privacy breaches, serves as a reminder of the fragile nature of respect. As we reflect on these behaviors, let us consider not only how they manifest in others, but also how we might inadvertently contribute to them in our own actions. The journey toward personal growth and improved relationships begins with self-reflection and a commitment to change. Let's take this moment to look inward, to examine our own behaviors and attitudes, and to ask ourselves how we can foster a more respectful and considerate environment in every aspect of our lives. By recognizing and addressing these 10 detrimental behaviors, we can each contribute to a culture of respect, empathy, and understanding. Respect is the cornerstone of all our relationships. By steering clear of these behaviors, we pave the way for healthier, more meaningful connections. Let us each commit to being architects of a world where respect is the foundation upon which every interaction is built, paving the way for a future marked by compassion, understanding, and mutual appreciation.